All right, statistics class. We're looking at frequency distributions today. Frequency distributions. Here's one right here. This is a frequency distribution. We've got a class and we got a frequency for that class. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 classes here. This class here, 1 to 5, the lower limit is 1, the upper limit is 5. Lower, upper, lower, upper. Okay, now what this frequency over here is, between this class of 1 to 5, there's 3 of those that occur. That's how frequent they occur, the frequency, how often they occur, how many of them. From 6 to 10, there are 6 of those, and so on. All right, now in your class, we have what's called class size. All our classes have to be the same size. We don't want some classes bigger than others. So if you notice, this goes from 1 to 5, which means right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 of those. From 6 to 10, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 5 of those. What you can do is 5 subtract 1 is 4, and you can add 1 to that. That's 5. 10 subtract 6 is 4, add 1 is 5. Or if you look at your lower limits, 1 plus 5 is 6, 6 plus 5 is 11. They all go up by 5s. And the upper limits, they all go up by 5s. Okay. Now you have what's called the midpoint. I'm just going to write the midpoint in here. The midpoint is the number that's in the middle of 1 and 5. Well, that's 3. Now, easy way to calculate that is if you take 5 plus 1 is 6, divide by 2, you get 3. 10 plus 6 is 16, divide by 2 is 8. 15 plus 11 is 26, divided by 2 is 13. And if you notice, these all go up by 5, which is the class width. So if I add 5 there, that'd be 18, add 5, add 5. And those are my midpoints. Okay. Now, frequency right here, let's add another thing. Let's call this relative frequency. Okay, the relative frequency is, if I take this calculator here, all right, and first of all, let's add up all our frequencies here. I've got 3 here, plus 6 is 9, plus 4 is 13, plus 6 is 19, plus 4 is 23, plus 2. There's 25 total. Okay, which is the sum. Usually we use this little Greek letter called a sigma. The sum of the frequencies is 25. So this is a Greek letter called sigma. And that signifies sum. You add all these up, you get 25. That's my sum of all those. Our relative frequency is, out of all 25, there's 3 here. So if I just do a little division, 3 divided by 25, I get 0.12. So this frequency is 0.12. If I do 6 divided by 25, all right, 6 divided by 25, and I get 0.24. Okay, 4 divided by 25 is 0.16. 6 we already did, 0.24. 4 we already did, that's 0.16. And then 2, well, 2 would be half of 4, wouldn't it? So it's going to be 0.08. And these are my relative frequencies. Now, here's what you should get. Every time you have relative frequencies, you should be able to add them all together, and it should equal 1. So let me move this over a little bit, and we'll add them all together here. So we got 0.12 plus 0.24 plus 0.16 plus 0.24 plus 0.16 plus 0.08, and it adds up to 1. So these should all add up to 1. So if I do sigma of this column, should be 1 every time. Okay. And then one other thing we're going to have, okay, cumulative frequency, which is the total frequency up to that point. So like right here from class 1 to 5, we have a total frequency of 3. From 6 to 10, well, I've got those 3 plus now I got 6 in that class, which is 9. So I just add these up. So 9 plus 4 would be 13. 13 plus 6 would be 19. 19 plus 4 is 23. 23 plus 2 is 25. And these are my cumulative frequencies. Okay. Now, we could take this frequency distribution right here and make us what's called a frequency histogram. So I've got one right here. Right, this is a frequency histogram. And basically what it's doing is just taking your class and your frequency, and it's making this little table. Now, this little graph. One thing about the histogram, each one of these widths should be the same because the classes are the same, and they should touch. Okay, and then this goes up. This is the frequency here. And so you see the midpoint 3 was 3, and the midpoint 8. See this right here, the midpoint 8. I just use the midpoints and these numbers here to make this frequency histogram. Okay, that's real simple. We also have what's called a frequency polygon. Now, if you think in geometry, a polygon is like, a closed-in shape like this right here. It's closed in. All right, well, the frequency polygon looks like this right here, and this right here is added, and this over here is added to touch the base of this to make a polygon. What we do here is, see, the lowest midpoint was 3, if you remember from our frequency distribution here. The lowest midpoint was 3, the highest one was 28. So what I do is, if I go back one more, basically this is going up by 5. If I go back 5, it takes me to -2. If I take my 28 and I go up another 5, there's not any of those, and there's not any of these, and so they touch the graph at 0, but it allows me to make this polygon. Now, in this one, these look like they form a straight line here, which gives us just one side, but most likely, this polygon will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. Okay, so basically that's what you'll have now. This one, though, like I said, this looks like it forms a complete side, and it looks like these two form a side, being straight, but that's what a frequency polygon looks like. And then another thing we have is what's called a cumulative frequency graph, which is called an ogive. This is called an ogive, and it looks like this. And basically, it's just taking your frequency distribution here, and it's graphing the midpoint and the cumulative frequency numbers, and it looks like that. Okay. All right, so that's a little bit of information about this. Let's look at some of the homework problems. We'll go through some of these together. This is number 1. Use the given minimum and maximum data entries and the number of classes to find the class width, the lower class limits, and the upper class limits. Okay, so what is all this? All right, so you see the minimum value is 9, the maximum value is 57. Okay, that means my range, now we didn't talk about range. Range is the highest number minus the lowest number, or the maximum minus the minimum. So if I do 57 minus 9, I get 48. Okay, 48 is my range. Okay, so in this data set, it has a range of 48. Well, I want that in 7 classes. Okay, so what I'm going to do then, I'm going to take my range, my 48, and I'm going to divide it by 7. Okay, so when I do 48 divided by 7, I get 6.857, Okay, I always round that up to the next whole number. We want to deal with whole numbers on this, so that would be 7. So 7 is my class width. So there's my class width right there, 7. Okay. Now, use the minimum as the first lower class limit, then find the remaining lower class limits. So 9 is going to be my first lower limit. I'm going to add 7, which there's my next one. I'm going to add 7 again. 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 Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's my 7 classes. That's my 7 lower class limits. Okay, the upper ones. Okay, well, I can just go, since this is 16, that means I'm going to have 15 before that one. See my lower, and then there's my upper, and then there's the lower, and then my upper would be 22. And then I'm going to have 29, and then I'm going to have 36, and then I'm going to have 43. Oops. Then I'm going to have 50. Okay. Oh, then 57. Okay, that's my upper ones. But these should be right before those. And then they just go by 7. Okay. All right, so here's another one, number 2. The minimum's 9, the maximum's 64. And there are 6 classes. So I do my range. My range is going to be 64 minus 9, which is 55. All right, there's my range. All right, I want 6 classes, so I do 55 divided by 6. All right, so I hit my calculator here. 55 divided by 6 is 9.16. Just a little bit above 9, but we round it up to 10. So my class width is going to be 10. We always round up, no matter what it is. If it's 9.0005, I'm going to have to round it up to 10. Okay, so my class width is 10. Now, which one of these is the correct lower class limit? Well, if my minimum is 9, so 9 should be the first one. So this is out, because that doesn't have 9 as the first one. 9 should be the first one, like this one or this one, and then it should go up by 10. So the next number would be 9 plus 10, 19. It's got to be A. It's not this one. Okay, then the upper class limit, all right, this goes from 9, the next one would be 19. Well, 1 less is 18, so it should start with 18, which is not these two. Okay, it's got to start with 18, and it should go up by 10. Well, this goes up 10, all right, this one's out. See, that didn't go up by 10 here. They should all go up by 10. So the answer is A again. Okay. All right, so here's number 3. That's another one. I'll let you guys do that one. Okay. Number 4 here. What's the class width? All right, so you're just taking, here's this frequency distribution. Find the class width. So my class width, well, from 35 to 38 is 3. These go up by 3 every time, so my class width is 3. Okay. It wasn't on there. I'm sorry, do it again. I didn't have it on the screen very good. 38 minus 35 is 3. 41 minus 38 is 3. If I subtract these, I get 3 every time, so my class width is 3. Okay. Now, it's wanting us to find the midpoints. Okay, so let's move this up here. We're going to find the midpoints here. So all I do is I add these together, divide by 2. So let's do this right here. Okay. 37 plus 35 equals, that's 72, divided by 2 is 36. So this would be 36. Okay. This one here, I think you can kind of tell 39 is in between those. It should be 39. But we'll do it on a calculator. It's going to be 40 plus 38 equals, and then divide by 2 equals 39. And to see how they're going up by 3, so the rest of them you just add 3. 42, 45, 48, 51, 54. Okay. All right. Now, on this one, next one here, it's wanting our class boundaries. We haven't talked about that yet. But what we're going to do here is, see, this goes from 35 to 37. This is 38 to 40. All right, when we make our histograms, they must touch. So see, 37, 38 don't touch. So what we do is in the middle of that would be the boundary of where it touches. So like right here, 37, 38 be 37.5. Okay. Now the lower boundary, since that's 35, I would go down a half, which would make that 34.5. Okay. So in this class, it would be 37.5 and then 40.5. So basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 0.5 from the lower one. I'm going to add 0.5 to the higher one. So here, 41 subtract 0.5. 43 add 0.5. 44 subtract 0.5. 46 add 0.5. Okay, and then you could probably do the rest from there. And these two numbers here should always be the same, because the lower class boundary of the second class should be the upper boundary of the first one. So the upper of the first one should be the lower of the next one. The upper of that one should be the same as the lower of the next one. Okay. All right, so here's a problem. It says use the frequency distribution shown below to construct an expanded frequency distribution. Okay, kind of like what we just did a minute ago. All right, so the midpoint, all right, so I add these together. So 25 plus 15 would be 40, divided by 2 is 20. 36 plus 26 would be, what is that, 62. Divided by 2 is 31. I think I did it right. 12, 1, 62. Okay. This looks like it goes up 11. Now, does this go up 11? 15 plus 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. Yeah. 25 plus 11 is 36. Plus 11 is, see, these all go up by 11, and these go up by 11. So I can go ahead and finish the rest of them. It's going to be 42. Plus 11 is 53, plus 11, plus 11, plus 11. Okay. Now the relative frequency. All right. Relative frequency, I've got to add all these up, get the sum. So I'm going to put the sum down here at the bottom of this. Okay. I'm going to add them up. Now, I recommend doing these twice because you might punch the buttons wrong. 18 plus 41 plus 68 plus 69 plus 80 plus 68 plus 21. That's 365 is what I got for my sum. I'm going to do them again. I recommend doing them twice. 18 plus 41 plus 68 plus 69 plus 80 plus 68 plus 21. 365. So doing it twice, I'm pretty sure that I'm right there. Now, for my relative frequency, I'm going to do 18 divided by this. So 18 divided by 365, that comes up to 0.0493. Okay. Now, I think it says right here round to the nearest hundredth. So like right here, hundredth, 100 has 2 zeros, which means I'm going to keep just 2 decimal places, 0, 4. Does this 9 make the 4 go up or stay? It does. So this is going to be 0.5. I didn't leave enough space in there. All right, so the next one. I'm going to do 41 divided by 365. All right, that's, all right, here I'm going to write it here. I get 0.11232. I'm going to keep these 2 decimals. Does this 2 make the 1 go up or stay? It stays. All right, then I'm going to do 68 divided by 365. All right, I get 0.1863. I'm going to keep these 2 numbers. Does the 6 make the 8 go up or stay? It goes up, 0.19. All right, then I'm going to do 69 divided by that. I get 0.189. All right, again, that's going to be 0.19. Okay, then I'm going to do 80 divided by 365, that's going to be 0.22. And then 68 divided by 365 is going to be 0.19. Oh, I just did 68 a minute ago. 21 divided by 365, and I get 0.06. Okay, so here's all my relative frequencies, and if I add those up, it should add up to 1. Now, being that we did some rounding here, it may be a little off. Let's just try and see. So I put 0.5. That should have been 0.05. 0.05. I left my 0 off. So try not to make that mistake I just almost made there. 0.05 plus 0.11 plus 0.19 plus 0.19 plus 0.22 plus 0.19 plus 0.06. And look there, it's 1.01, which is right at 1. It should be 1, but because we had to round some of these, it made our sum a little bit off. And then the cumulative frequency, this is 18. 18 plus 41 is going to be 59. 59 plus 68. 59 plus 68 is 127. 127 plus 69 is 196. 196 plus 80 276 plus 68 344, and plus 21 365, which is what we have down there. Okay, let's go to this next one here. Use a frequency histogram. There it is right here, histogram, to complete the following parts. Determine number of classes. What looks like here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 classes. Okay. The least frequency is about what? Okay, now what we're going to look at here, the frequencies, this looks like the lowest one right here at 32. So we just have to estimate what this number is right here. Now there's 100. This must be 50, so it's below 50. I'd say it looks like it's a little bit higher than half, so I would say 30. It's about 30. The greatest frequency looks like it's this one right here, which is 250 right there. It's a little above 250, so I'd say 260 is what I would say. The class width, well, you just take your midpoints here and subtract them. It looks like it goes up 5 every time. And then what pattern does the histogram show? All right, you got to read through these and see which one makes the most sense. So this says about half the employee salaries are between 40 and 49,000. So here's 40 right here, and here's 49. Does this look like to be a half of the whole thing? Well, it is kind of close. These two right here, is that the same as the rest of these out here? That looks like it's a possibility. I'm just going to put like a check. It could be. What about this one? About half employee salaries are between 50 and 59. All right, here's 50 and here's 59. Does this look like it's half? No, I wouldn't say. I wouldn't say those two would be as much as this one. So I'd say this one's no. All right, what about this next one here? Most employees make less than 34,000 or more than 60. All right, so here's 34 right here. More than 60 would be here. Is that most of your employees? No, most of your employees are right in there. So this is wrong. And then this last one says less than half the employees make between 35 and 59. So 35, all right, here's 35 right here. And then 59's right here. So all this, oh my goodness. I've been drawing on this and you couldn't see it. I was not looking at the screen. Less than half employees make between this and this. This looks like a majority of it. So this one's wrong. The one that's right is A here. And if you look at the graph here, which I didn't have it on there, about half the employee salaries are between 40 and 49. See, here's 40 and here's 49, and this looks about like half of the whole thing. All right, I apologize. I'm going to have to watch this screen a little better. All right, here's a frequency polygon. Okay. Now, this has a couple questions here. What are the boundaries of the class with the greatest frequency? Here's the greatest frequency right here. Okay, which occurs at 31. Okay. Now, if you notice, the next one's 34. So if I subtract those, that's 3. That's my class width. Okay. All right, so if I divide that by 2, that's 1.5. That means from 31, I'll add 1.5, and I'll subtract 1.5. And it looks like 31 plus 1.5 is 32.5. 31 minus 1.5 is 29.5. There's the answer right there. Okay. Now on this one, what are the boundaries of the class with the least frequency? The least frequency. Now we can't count these right here because those are added on extra, like we did a minute ago. So the least one I think is right here. Here's my least one. Okay. See, it's lower than this one. So that looks like, what is that, 1? It's 1 high, yeah. So this is at 13. So if I add 1.5, I get 14.5, and if I subtract 1.5, I get 11.5. So my answer would be D. Okay. All right, here's an ogive. This gives your cumulative frequency. Okay. This says the approximate number in the sample is right here, 50. There's 50 altogether. See that this is cumulative. It goes up with each one until it gets to the final number. So this would be 50. Okay, choose the correct location of the greatest increase in frequency table. Now that's what you can do here in this cumulative frequency. You can look and see what the biggest jump is. And the biggest jump looks like right here to me. See, that's the bigger than all these other ones. Okay, so that goes from right here to right here. Okay. Now this 23.5 is on this slash right here. See, the numbers are in the middle of the slashes. So you could see 23.5, 26, this goes up 1, 2, 3. All right, so this is 1 going up. So this is 23.5 plus 1, which is 24.5, which looks like right here. And then this goes up another one, which is 25.5. So it looks like A. All right. Here's another one. Use the ogive to answer parts A through D. Okay. All right. What's the cumulative frequency for a weight of 27.5 pounds? So you go 27.5 is right here, and that looks like 40. What's the weight for which the cumulative frequency is 45? Or if my cumulative frequency is 45, that means that'd be 30.5. How many beagles weigh between 22.5 and 29.5? All right, so now watch this one now. Watch this one. 22.5 is right here, okay, which is a little less than 10. It could be 9, I'd say. So let's just say this is 9. All right. 29.5 is right here, okay, which is a little less than 45, which may be 44. Okay, so there's 9 at this class, there's 44 at that class, so how many is between those? Well, I just subtract those, so 44 minus 9 would be 35. Okay, and then this last one, how many beagles weigh more than 30.5 pounds? So here's 30.5 right there, which looks like it's right on 45. So there's 45 below that. Well, there's 55 total, so I just do 55 total minus 45, which is 10. That's 10. So that means from here to here, there's 10, because there's 45 below that, there's 55 below that one. So if I just subtract the two, that tells me there's 10 in this little range. Okay. All right, now, here we go. Number 10, we're going to take this data and we're going to build our whole frequency table. Okay. So it tells us to take this data right here and make 5 classes. All right, so to do this, we first have to find our range. So we look through here for the lowest number. 2's the lowest, 0's the lowest, 0. 0's the lowest. Okay. Now look through there and find the highest number. 27, 29. So it looks like 29. So this goes from 0 to 29. Now double check. 0's the lowest. There's no negative, so 0's the lowest. And then 29 is the highest. Okay, we're in good shape. So there's my range. 0 to 29 is 29. 29 minus 0 is 29. Okay? Now, we want 5 classes. So I'm going to take 29 and I'm going to divide by 5, which is almost 6. I think it's going to be 6. Let's just make sure. Okay, do 29 divided by 5, and you get 5.8, and round up to 6, so 6. So it's going to go up by 6. So this is my class size. Okay, we have 5 classes, and it goes class size to 6. So we're going to start with 0. So 0. Then we're going to go up 6, 12, 18, 24. Those are my lower limits. Okay, so 0 is my lowest number, so 0 starts it off, and my class size is 6, so I'll go up 6 for each one of these. Okay, now this will be 5. Okay, the highest will be 5, and then it goes 6 there. So then I'll add 6 there, that'd be 11. Be 17 plus 6 is 23, plus 6 is 29, and there you go. There's my class size. Okay. Now the frequency. All right, here you go. Let me see if I get this on here good. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go down through this column here, and I'm going to mark little tallies. So like starting with 2, 2's in this one. 27 is down here. 9 goes in this one. 11 goes in that one too. 2 again up here. 26 is down here. 15 is here. 10 is in there. All right, we've got these first 2 columns done. And you just go through all and make these tally marks. So I got 0, 5, 27, 24, 25, 12, 29, 21, finally got one in here, 25, 1, 15, and 11. There you go. Which means I got a 5 here, I got a 4, 3, 1, and a 7. All right, there's my frequencies. Okay. All right, now my midpoints. All right, so my midpoint, remember I add these together and I divide by 2. So 5 plus 0 is 5. Divide by 2 is 2.5. 11 plus 6 is 17. Divide by 2 is 8.5. And it goes up by 6. So I can just keep adding 6. So plus 6 is 14.5. Plus 6 is 20.5. Plus 6 is 26.5. Okay. Now my relative frequency. Okay. I add up all my frequencies here, which I think I can just look at the table here. There's 4. There's 20. So I just take each one of these and divide by 20. I'm going to move this up a little bit like that. Okay. All right, so I got 5 right there, divide by 20. 5 divided by 20, 0.25. 4 divided by 20, 0.2. 3 divided by 20, 0.15. 1 divided by 20, 0.15. 7 divided by 20, 0.35. Okay. Now if I add all these up, it should add up to 1. I'm going to do that real quick. Okay. 0.25 plus 0.2 plus 0.15 plus 0.15 plus 0.35, 1.1. It should add up to 1. I don't know where the 0.1 come from. Well, I guess it didn't add up right. I don't know why. It should. Okay, well, we'll go on. The cumulative frequency. All right, so here's 5. This is 5. And then plus 4 is 9. Plus 3 is 12. Plus 1 would be 13 here. And then plus 7 is 20. Okay. Okay. Oh, right here. There's my mistake. That's why I didn't add up. When I said 0.05 and I wrote 0.15. It's 0.05. I didn't write it down right. I said it. I remember saying it, but I wrote it down wrong for some reason. That's why I didn't add up. It should, when I add these up, it should equal 1. Okay, I was wondering about that. All right, now we can answer these questions here. Which class has the greatest frequency? Well, it's right here, man. Class with the greatest frequency is from 24 to 29. Which class has the least frequency? We're right there, man. 18 to 23. Okay. All right, here's another problem similar. Okay, I'll let you guys do this one. Okay. All right, here's one that's kind of similar. We'll go through it, and I think the next two are kind of like this. All right, we'll do this one for the last one, I guess. Okay, so now look at all the numbers here. Oh man, there's a bunch of them. 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 6. There's 30 altogether. There's 30. Okay, we want to make this frequency distribution with 8 classes. All right, so I need to find my range now. Okay, so let's look through here for the lowest number. All right, 302, 294. Okay, 294 is the lowest. All right, now I got to look through there and find the highest one. Now, let's see here. 450, 451, 472, 472, 472, 514, 514. Okay. So now I subtract those. So I just go 514, subtract 294, 220. Okay, that's my range. Okay. Now, let's, there's 30 altogether. Okay, there's 30 here. My range is 220. Okay, what does my class size need to be? I want 8 classes. All right, so I'm going to do 220 divided by 8. All right, so I'm going to do 220 divided by 8. It's 27.5, so we go up to the next number, which is 28. So 28 is my class width. Okay. All right. So our lowest number was 294, so it's going to be here. 294. My class width is 28, so I'm just going to do a little addition here. We'll just we'll go straight down the thing. 294 plus 28, 322. Plus 28, 350. Plus 28, 378. Plus 28, 406. Plus 28, 434. Plus 28, 462. Plus 28, 490. All right, there's all my lower limits. All right, my upper ones. All right, now look here. Since that's 322, this has to be 321. Okay, and I can add 28 to them. So 321 plus 28, 349. Plus 28, 377. And notice how it's one less than this, so this would be 405. This is going to be 433. This is going to be 461. This is going to be 489. And now 489 plus 28, 517. There you go. Okay. Now what's my frequencies? All right, so we just go through all 30 of these, put the tally marks. Okay, so let's go 430. All right, 430 is in this one. Okay. 386. 386 will be in that one. 351 in this one. 302 way up here. 450 right here. Okay, now this one, 294 right there. 429. 429 is in this one. 472 down here. 451 be in here. 387 in this one. 382 in this one. 371 in that one. 386 here. 307 be down here. 318, that's going to be in there. 334 is going to be in this one. Finally got one in that one. 311, it's going to be in here, isn't it? Bam. 412 right here. 306 in there. 351, 357 I mean, right here. 514 right down there. Finally got one in that one. So we got one in all of them now. 442 here. 441. 326 right there. 510 right here. 423 right there. 389 right there. 425 here. 410. 416. So you got in this one here 6, and this one 2, and this one 3, 5, 7, 4, 1, 2, and there's my frequencies. Okay. Now it's asking for the frequency histogram. All right, here's my histograms here to look at. Okay, now if you remember in the first class, it should go up to 6. So let's look at this first bar in the first class. All right, this don't go up to 6, that ain't right. This don't go up to 6. That one don't, it's got to be this one. It's got to be that one. If you notice now, the next one goes up to 2. See there, that goes up to 2. This goes up to 3, so the third one goes up to 3. That's right. This fourth one goes up to 5. See there, the fourth one goes up to 5. So on the fourth one here, that's 5. The fifth one goes up to 7. 7. This is it right here. Okay. Now you look at your histogram and describe any pattern. So you got to look at the stuff it says and see what is accurate for your histogram here. So the class with the greatest frequency class is 7. Well, no, the class with the greatest frequency is 5. That's wrong. Class greatest is 5 right there. This last one. See, this is 8, 1, and 7. It's got to be D. It's got to be D. Okay. Yeah, I said that would be the last one. I think that's all we got. Yep, that's it. Frequency distributions. If you have any questions, just let me know, and hope you have a good rest of the day.